Warning. The following video presentation contains scenes of extreme deliciousness. Failure to either eat first or bring a snack to consume during the presentation could result in wanting to lick the screen or in some way act the fool. Ain't nobody want that. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, boys and ghouls. Decay's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Decay's making a snack today. Shove it right into your mouth. Decay's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? Is he making it for me? Decay's making a snack today. It's time for tactical snacking with Decay.
Hey folks, how's it going? Sorry about the timer. I was typing and trying to look up some stuff, but I got two keyboards and I was typing on the wrong keyboard, and the keyboard I was typing on was affecting the computer that's actually running the stream, and it kept resetting the timer and stuff. So sorry about that. But hey, we're good to go now, so that's good. How's everybody doing? I hope you're well on this Thursday. Avocado Green KitchenAid's in the house. Everybody be sure to wish Avocado Green KitchenAid a happy birthday. It's her birthday today. So happy birthday there, Mom. Yeah. So it's been, I'm sore. I am still sore. Monday as well as Tuesday, I was doing some yard work and got a little too excited about it. And hey, Zodic, what's going on, man? And I'm still kind of feeling it. I, however, am able to actually move now, so that's way better, because oh man, Tuesday by the time I was done doing what I was doing, I'm like, there's no way that I wanted to cook. I'm like, just, bring me some takeaway and we'll call it good, sort of thing. That's just how it goes sometimes. So, hey, no big deal. As for today and the plan of action, I have kind of an idea of where I want to go with this, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But we're making soup, and there's a couple of things that brought this on. Monday, in addition to doing yard work, hey Mike No Play, welcome. Monday I made a batch of chicken noodle soup actually, for a friend of ours that was sick, and so I was like, hey, let me bring you some soup, and they're like, no, you don't have to. I'm like, no, please, let me at least do this. This is a skill that I have. Please let me do this for you. And they're like, okay, fine. So made soup, and I go to pack up the soup and get it ready to take it over to them, and I had it separated so then that way the vegetation that was in it, as well as the protein and the noodles and everything, wouldn't overcook. So like I had the broth totally separated from everything else. And I'm packing up the broth, and I got out a large canning jar, 2-quart canning jar. And I'm filling the jar with this broth. And right around the time it gets to the top, a crack forms in the jar. And I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And the thing was basically full. I ended up with about a gallon's worth of soup. Hey, Maria, welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for the resub. And so I've got this cracked jar, and I'm like, okay, I put the stock pot back down on the stove. I go to pick up the jar in order to put it back into the pot, so then that way I could filter it out in the event that there was any glass shards or anything like that. And the bottom completely falls out. 2 quarts of soup onto the floor. So thankfully I had about a gallon's worth of the broth, and so the half that we were going to have for dinner I ended up giving to them. They loved it, everything was great, but it left me with this kind of hankering for soup. The other thing that happened was I got reminded, I don't know, I think this was like a day or two ago, that 1 year ago, Mr. Grant Truesdell on the Unleash the Archers Discord was running kind of I don't know if it's necessarily a contest. Oh, dude, yeah. Seriously, when a jar breaks, Mike no play or something like that, it's just like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I don't have too many kitchen disasters like that. It's been quite a while, so this one was especially kind of heartbreaking because it was just like, oh my gosh, I put all this work into this. But they were fed and we're all good, so no big deal. But a year ago, Grant was doing this thing, soup selfies. And for everybody who went to the market and took a selfie of themselves in the soup aisle, he would donate a can of soup to the local food bank up there in Vancouver. And I remember this was right around the time that I joined that Discord, and I kind of jumped at it with gusto, because here I am, a guy that's at the market almost on a daily basis. So getting a soup selfie was no big deal, and plus I've got no shame when it comes to that kind of thing. So I would get down there and take pictures, and so started posting a whole bunch of them. And so it brought back a number of memories, plus it got me thinking, man, it's been a heck of a year just from that point to where we are today and everything. So I went, when I was at the market earlier today, I took a soup selfie and posted it there, just kind of in memory of that whole year. And I thought, okay, so soup today I think is very appropriate for that. To begin, the basis of any good soup is going to be your stock. And now I could, say, hey, you know what? I've got, jars of bouillon over there, and we can just, do that and call it good. And hey, bada bing, bada boom. But, what's the fun in that? And besides, if anybody's been around for any amount of time, you know that that's not how I roll. So got out the Instant Pot. In this pot here, if you've seen Instagram or Facebook or anything like that earlier, I posted a picture of this pot filled with water, because what I have in it are 2 stewing hens and some chicken feet that I soaked to not only thaw, but also to kind of get out some of the hemoglobin and the like. Yeah, if you don't have anything to replace it with, Mike No Play, it's total heartbreak. But you know what? I'm just glad it was only just that bit. Hey, Wolfie Metal Beast, welcome, buddy. So we're gonna Instant Pot this, and we're gonna make our kind of chicken stock scratch. Thankfully, this will only take about an hour. I will say, however, from experience, that if you're playing along at home and you're going to do this, be aware that every Instant Pot recipe ever, it says, oh yeah, it's only in there for, an hour or whatever. But what they kind of fail to tell you is it's also dependent on how long it takes for it to come up to pressure and heat up. So, knowing that, on the stove there, I've got a pot of water that is right at the boiling point, so then that way this will come up to pressure very, very quick. So I did plan ahead a little bit for that. Stupid question, is it a chicken soup because it's going to be chicken stock, or is it going to contain some amount of chicken as well? That is an excellent question, Mike No Play, and the answer to that is maybe. It's gonna be chicken stock based. I do have chicken that can go into it, but we're gonna kind of figure that out as we go, because I've got a list of options up here on the fridge, and I figured we'd kind of go over them and see, what chat was kind of thinking. Like I have an idea in my head, and my idea is based off of my go-to soup when I'm not feeling well, and it's a war wonton soup, which is basically just a wonton soup that is loaded with, it'll have like shrimp, it'll have chicken, it'll have barbecue pork in there, it'll have a whole bunch of vegetation, and it'll have wonton. And so part of me thought, hey, I can do something kind of like that without sort of the wonton, but we'll kind of go over that and see where it takes us. In terms of this, a couple of things that I'm going to want to do is stewing hens. Okay, so stewing hens, if you don't know what they are, if you notice, you're like, wow, that's kind of a small chicken. The chickens that you're used to seeing at the market most of the time are going to be what are called broiler fryers. And they're relatively young chickens that are raised to be really plump and firm and young, specifically for eating. Like, I want to say, like, broiler fryers in terms of age are like 9 months to a year old, maybe. Like, they're really not very old at all. Stewing hens, on the other hand, are former egg layers. So what an egg farm will do is, when a hen has reached the end of its sort of egg producing life, they'll be turned into stewing hens, because they're usually older. The meat is definitely tougher. However, because of that age and because of that toughness, it also has quite a bit of flavor. It just takes longer to make it something that you would actually want to eat. However, stewing hens for stock are phenomenal. If you can't get a hold of stewing hens, I'm a big fan of using chicken legs, because they usually have a really good sort of a meat to bone ratio. To be honest, if you're using chicken legs for stock, I highly recommend getting a pack of chicken legs that aren't super, super meaty. So then that way there's a bit more bone and skin in there, because that'll just give you more collagen and more of the yummy goodness. Hey, Lumpy Pickles here. Welcome, welcome, buddy. Oh, hi, little girl. How you doing? She's been kind of sleepy most of the day, but that is where we are at with these. So I'm not going to put them in whole. I got scissors here, and we're going to kind of break them down a little bit, just so then that way I can get more into the Instant Pot. And it would probably help if I put the Instant Pot somewhere that's really more on camera. Had it at the end of the counter. There we go. We'll leave it right there for the time being. I'm going to push it off into the corner over here to do its thing. But I'm going to go wash my hands real quick, so then that way I can put on gloves and I'm not having to wash my hands like a bajillion times, because my hands are really dry and cracked and stuff. gonna go outside and like finally sunny here. It's been raining most of the month. It's crazy. Like usually by the end of May, it's not raining quite so much. But it's been raining up until kind of the beginning of the week. Chimkin. Yep. Something to that effect. We have some options, Lumpy Pickle, and so it's going to end up becoming kind of a, well, what is chat kind of feeling like? But in terms of the base for this, I've got kind of what I'm going to do, and it's going to be a bit of an East meets West kind of a situation. But so what I want to do with these, because this is kind of a big gangly bit, is I'm snipping right in between, if the scissors would actually cut, right in between the thigh, there we go, and this is the end of the breast here. And I'm just kind of going down so that I can snap it in half there and cut right through. Cut right through. Cut right through. Okay, these scissors need sharpening. Okay, barely. Okay, let's get a different. And snip right through. There we go. Okay. Yay, we got through. Then what I'll do is I crack the bones there in order to really kind of flatten this out. And then that way it sits in the Instant Pot way better. For this breast portion with the wings and everything attached, what I'll do is, because if you notice there's a bit of the neck here, is I snip up the side and again kind of flatten it out. And yes, there are like little bits of feathers and stuff in there, but I'm not terribly worried about those for the time being. And I think if Cattle Decapitation were watching right now, they'd be having a heart attack. We got some, looks like we got some innards in there a little bit. Doing the same thing with this. Cracking them bones. Huh. Guessing this was part of intestinal tract. These little bubble dealies. Okay. Yeah, and if you ever see like green blue like little bits like that, definitely want to remove them. Yeah, that's it. So normally in the, well, I would say the French tradition, but most traditions when it comes to making any kind of stock with animal parts especially, is that you want to be able to skim the protein foam that is, I don't know why I'm getting rid of these scissors. I've got toenails I need to clip. You want to be able to skim the resulting protein foam that forms, because it'll foul up and make the base kind of stinky. Whereas, thankfully, by using the Instant Pot, the nice thing about that is that when it comes up to pressure, it's not like necessarily bubbling and simmering, because it's under pressure and at a higher temp, so it doesn't become super agitated. Okay, which tends to be kind of what you want you don't want it to become agitated, so then that way there's not a lot of little particulate matter in the stock itself that can kind of cloud it up and potentially lend some kind of off flavors and the such. So by doing it this way, the stock ends up coming out way cleaner. But I will kind of show you a tip a little bit, like when this is done, for getting the clearest kind of stock out of this. Now for the feet here, you notice there's little toenails on here. And the whole reason why I've got like this bunch of feet is because of that whole skin and bone to everything else ratio. And chicken feet just add a whole lot of collagen and lip smacking goodness to the stock. The kind of the big tip when it comes to working with these is just snipping off the toenails. And it takes a few minutes to do it, but it's totally worth it. And the other thing that you do is, if the scissors are actually sharp and want to work, there it is. What you want to do is in the pad here, cut a little X, because it opens it up and just, makes it a little bit easier for all the yummy goodness to come out. Should have just used this pair to begin with, but this is a pair that I have kind of tucked up and out of the way, so then that way they're just not like down in kind of the gen top, as it were. Now, it's funny, is I've seen videos of people who are prepping chicken feet for this sort of thing, and what they'll do is, instead of just like snipping the nail like that, they take off that first digit. But this was kind of the pro tip that I picked up from a super famous ramen chef here in the US, Keizo Shimamoto, who is the inventor of the ramen burger and has a shop in San Juan Capistrano called Ramen Shack, which if you're ever in southern Orange County or in between Orange County and San Diego, I do highly recommend going and checking out, because his ramen is absolutely phenomenal. I'm not going to be using all of this for dinner tonight. I'll probably use only half of the resulting stock for dinner tonight, and then that way I have extra that I can chill and freeze and hang on to for some other purpose a little bit later on down the road. I forget who I was talking to. Echo of Ashes, that's who it was. I don't know if they're around. But we were talking, they had made some pumpkin bars and were wanting to kind of freeze some to hang on to it. But the problem was because of like the cream cheese frosting and everything, that they would kind of get stuck to the foil or whatever that they were using to get them ready for the freezer. And what I've done, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that's ever done this, but what I will do for something like the stock here is I'll chill it and then put it in the freezer in some kind of container that I can easily remove a solid form from. especially like if I have it portioned into like say a quart or a pint or something like that, and I'll freeze it solid in that container, take it out of the container, and then now since I have a solid form, I can put it into vacuum sealer bags and vacuum seal it for long-term storage. So if you have something like you know, like a tomato sauce or soup or anything like that, that is a great way to get it ready for, you know, longer storage if needs be. All right. Take my gloves off. I just want to wipe down the counter where that pot was, specifically because I want this counter clean in the event that I've got to roll something out on it. Okay. Instant Pot with chicken parts, ready to go. Now we move on to Team Aromatics. Okay. I have a pan here with a whole bunch of stuff that I intend to add to the Instant Pot for yummy goodness reasons. First and foremost, a couple of cloves of garlic, because you gotta have it. You just got it. Oh no, there's feet in there, buddy. There's lots of chicken feet all up in there. So what I'm thinking for this is kind of doing an East meets West sort of thing. And I'm thinking kind of along the lines of a traditional French school of thinking, with, you know, onion, carrot, celery, sprig of parsley, a couple of bay leaves, some peppercorn sort of thing. But in addition to that, throwing in some kombu, so giant kelp, dried shiitake mushrooms, which I have over here, some Napa cabbage, daikon radish, a little bit of ginger, and I pulled, let me change view, pulled these beauties out of the bed this morning. Oh, out of the garden bed, I should say. This is a Korean giant onion known as daepa, and trimmed it and washed it. So this is going to go into the pot too, because this is just going to add a lot of awesome flavors. Same with like the roots. The roots are definitely going to go in. I wash really, really well down in here. And so yeah, the whole thing is going to go in. We're just going to kind of slice it up into little bits. And it's going to add an excellent kind of onion flavor and aroma. Yeah, check out the cross section of these guys. Super thick wall, and yeah, that is going to be yummy and delicious. Okay, that's it. Probably don't need quite that many, but I got a couple of carrots here that I scrubbed earlier. Probably pull the ends off of these just because they're a little janky. But okay. Now, I will say that if I were making this on the stovetop, and at some point I really should do that, like on stream, is do a straight up stovetop stock making. Kind of leave the camera rolling for however long it takes. Like for chicken stocks I usually do for about 4 hours. But what I have found is that the vegetation, usually I'll only put in like the last hour or so. So then that way it doesn't get, giant onion is right. Kaiju onion. Exactly. A team acrobatic? Not yet. I don't see why not, but not as of yet. And there we go. Oh, we got some more oniony bits I will throw in there. And all of this I had kind of scrubbed, washed earlier. I mean, the onion still got peel on it. Napa cabbage, I find... Well, actually, I didn't find. It's probably the Chinese that found, or whomever, that it is really, really good in soup stocks. So this pot's pretty dang full. Not even sure how much water is going to end up fitting in there, but it's going to be delicious, I'll tell you that much. I'm not going to add this entire radish. I'm probably only going to add about that. This is just daikon. Only reason why I'm peeling the daikon, even though I scrubbed it earlier, is that there were little pockets that I couldn't quite get clean, and I'd like to not have any additional dirt in this. There's our max fill line. I don't know if you can see that on camera. So that's the max water level that we can add to it. A bit of ginger. I made the joke, I think it was yesterday, again with Echoes of Ash, about, they were talking about how cinnamon's their favorite spice. And I made the joke that I think ginger's probably my favorite spice out of, you know, posh, sporty, baby, and scary. More of a funny haha than I do. To add additional onion or not to add additional? I think I need to add onion. It's kind of the foundation of that. Trim off the janky bit and throw it in. That's the nice thing about stock, is that it's perfect for stuff that may not look fantastic, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And if I had additional like vegetable scraps, I would totally throw them in too. Just because the added vegetation is just going to add a whole lot more to it. Okay. Yep. This is full Instant Pot. Okay. Oh, snap! Who's raiding? Oh, my goodness. Donnie Burbage? What is up? Oh, Mawol. Waco Night. Mr. Donnie Burbage, should he pop up, should get an automatic shout out. He is a fantastic guitarist in the band Aether Realm. If you're not familiar with them, definitely need to check him out, because if he pops up, oh, there we go. There's his shout out right there. Welcome, welcome, sir. He also just got off tour with Cradle of Filth. Yeah. Yes, and that's what I just said. See? Marmoranin is here. Tell you. Welcome, welcome. Marmoranin. I don't know Marmoranin personally. I do, however, know of their work as a photographer, specifically from the Lords of the Trident Discord. So, welcome, welcome. Hey, wow, it's Peter. Welcome, welcome. And let's see, Cashlocks and Mini Poggers is in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome, welcome. Hey, thanks so much for the follow, Donnie. And wow, it's Peter. Yeah, welcome. So I'm just kind of talking through making kind of an East meets West chicken stock at the moment. I've just cut up some onion, and the last things that I got to put in are a couple of dried shiitake mushrooms to get kind of some of that natural MSG all up in there. And because I got it and I got to use it, because I'm kind of a nut job when it comes to this sort of thing, I've got a very large bag of giant kelp. Because giant kelp has a base in this. And there we go. Some more natural MSG goodness. Oh, you love soup? Right on, dude. Shower soup. So funny haha, at a convention that I went to, there were a number of anime voice actors hanging out in a hot tub with a bunch of fans, and it was convention soup. Because I guarantee you that a number of those people hadn't showered. It was pretty funny, to be honest. Granted, this was back in like 2000 or whatever. Okay, this is about ready to go. I just need to add our water to it. Hopefully, hey, Donnie, I haven't had a chance to catch your stream recently. I hope the tour went well. And I'm hoping you had a really good stream today, because I do like to kind of hang out and lurk when I have a chance. The dude writes some amazing music and is a phenomenal player and an all-around excellent gentleman. If you don't know him, if you don't know his music, do yourself a favor, go look up Aether Realm. Give their music a listen. Absolutely awesome stuff. So good. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that it was a good tour, man. I'm gonna get some water in this so we can get this stock started. As I keep a steaming cauldron of water ready to go for this sort of purpose. And I'm only filling this to the max fill line on here. Oop. And we're making a little bit of a mess. That's alright. But thankfully, because this water is nice and hot, it should come to pressure real quick. Yes, it's chicken adjacent because it's not a straight up like chicken soup or like a chicken noodle soup or something like that. We're going to kind of figure it out as we go. And that pouring operation didn't work anywhere near as well as I had hoped, but that's okay. Thankfully, it's water. Okay. That is sitting on top. That should be fine. All right. You know what? That has got some more roots. Clean that up. The last thing I want is to have some kind of seal failure due to excessive moisture. I was talking to someone not too long ago that I talked about, making stuff in the Instant Pot, and they expressed a concern about using one because of the potential for catastrophic failures and things like that. Because you do see, videos, photos, whatever, of pressure cookers that end up having catastrophic failures. Which is why I take great pain to clean the interior of the lid when I do. The only reason why it's a little wet right now is because I did wash it earlier. By cleaning the rubber gasket seal, the little basket dealy here. This is pressure valve, and then that steam release valve there too. Alright, that is all locked up and ready to go. And I'm putting this on high pressure for 1 hour. Since it is chicken based, 1 hour of this will come out just fine. And it's all okay, so it's on. Let's see how long it takes until it actually reaches full pressure. So I'm going to leave this kind of tucked off in the corner here because now we got to talk about everything else. Since now we got to figure out what to put in the soup. Alright, let me get rid of this. Actually, I could talk about water. Sounds like a silly subject, but there's actually a good reason for it. I got a battle patch apron. Yes, I do, Cashlocks. This is my my battle apron because I am a kind of a fluffy guy, but I'm in the kitchen all the time. So yeah, I'm repping Unleash the Archers. I got some studs. This is my old Twitch username. Repping the new wave of nice metal buds as well as the Lords. And another band that I'm actually a fan of, not quite as well known, Botanist. Green metal, I guess, is technically what you would call them. Think heavy metal, like black metal dulcimers. Definitely give them a check out if you're kind of into that sort of thing. Really interesting stuff, but I'm a fan of them, so... Hey, Accidental Chaos is here. Welcome, buddy. Yes, it is a pressure cooker, Donnie Burbage. It is an Instant Pot. It is the big one because that's just kind of how I roll. I've always got a big one. Nice. Yeah, definitely check out Botanist. They've got... they're on Bandcamp. So yeah, just check them out on Bandcamp. I don't know if they're on Spotify, but yeah, it's like one dude and he does like all the writing and everything, and it is very much yeah, it is a trip. It is an absolute trip because the dulcimer with like everything else, like super atmospheric, like black metal kind of stuff, man. It's really cool. So okay, it's on. I hear it. Okay, that should be coming up to pressure pretty soon. What I'm going to end up doing with this is I'm going to let it go for an hour, and then I'm just going to leave it to kind of naturally come down. You find a lot of people will say, hey, let it go and then do like a steam release after like say 10-15 minutes or something like that. Because I have this as full as I do, if I ever attempt to do any kind of steam release, I end up with a geyser. So I just let it kind of naturally come down. So at this point, once it comes up, which should be in a couple of minutes, and it goes for the hour, it'll probably take a solid 30 to 45 minutes to come down completely. The little red check valve that's on there, I'd move it, but it's kind of doing its thing at the moment, so I'm going to leave it be. When the red valve drops, that's when you know when it's completely released, all the pressure is gone. So, as for water, yes, very much atmospheric black metal, Mark Brandon. Absolutely. Water in any kind of stock or soup or whatever, you have to think about it as a couple of things. One, it's an ingredient. So if it doesn't taste good, it's gonna affect everything else. So like if your tap water isn't all that great, like our tap water here is on the harder side, and it's okay, but we have water delivery service, and so the water was in that pot that I brought over, is from a 5-gallon jug that I just cracked open. We like the taste of that water, and so that'll be good. It's also a solvent, which obviously in the case of stock, I mean, you're trying to draw out all of the flavors and vitamins and all that fun stuff that's in there. So you have to think about it in those terms. And so like when you go to make anything, like even with rice, like I'll use kind of the good water for that sort of thing because it's soaking it up and there's really not a whole lot else in there. It becomes that actual ingredient. So if you think about it like that, you approach things differently. And if you want it, you know, like I said, if the water don't taste good, what you're making is not going to be all that great. Because I have tried, when we first moved here, I tried using the tap water to make some stuff, and I got some pretty iffy results. Just kind of funky smells and stuff like that. But anyways, let's talk about everything else that's going in the soup. So I kind of made a list of some of the potential items to go into the soup, and I'm not sure how visible this is from that distance, but I've got like onion, mushrooms, specifically I was thinking cremini mushrooms, which I have some, broccoli, carrot, gray squash, Mexican gray squash as opposed to like zucchini. I tend to like those better, and I happen to have one. Water chestnuts, corn. I've got, I was thinking probably canned for that. And then, of course, I got Napa cabbage, which I chopped up a little bit earlier. So that's kind of team vegetation. And as for what we're going to put into it, well, we'll see what we're feeling like. For the protein, however, I've got some chicken breasts that we can either kind of dice up and put into it that way, or this was a thought that occurred to me, I don't know, about an hour, no, not an hour, I would say probably about 2 hours ago, is we could treat it like the chanko nabe, the Japanese sumo stew, and turn those chicken breasts into chicken meatballs. So that's an option. I've also got some leftover pork roast that I thought would be good, kind of sliced up and put in. And then I've got shrimp that I can very easily thaw from frozen that are already peeled and deveined, and those will be good to just kind of drop in there at the very end, so that way they don't overcook. That, and I know Mrs. Wayso will, you know, really appreciate those. So I'm kind of thinking that's what we're, you know, that's kind of the direction that I'm thinking. And initially, like I said, I was thinking about treating this a little bit like a war wonton soup, which is just a loaded wonton soup, since that's sort of my go-to soup when I'm not feeling all that great, which tends to have like barbecue pork, and it's got chicken in it, and it'll have shrimp, and it's loaded with vegetation, and then you got that yummy soup, and that's sort of my penicillin. It's what I enjoy. So okay, it's thrash o'clock. Oh, cool. Have fun. Yeah, we're kind of winging it, Accidental Chaos. That's where we're at. That's, you know. So the question is, what all do we want to put into this soup? And that is the question that I'm putting forth to chat right now. Is in terms of team vegetation, like, what are we feeling? What do we want to avoid? Do we want to just say, kitchen sink it and just do it all? Or do we want to, you know, kind of pull it back a little bit? Oh! Also, sorry, I forgot to mention this. A couple of potential wild cards. I've got kimchi out in the fridge in the garage. So that could be an additional kind of layer. Like, we could kind of saute up some of the kimchi before adding the soup stock to it and kind of treat it like a jjigae, like a Korean stew, basically.
It doesn't matter, baby. Kaboom!
That's right. Kaboom, baby. All in. Kitchen sink it. Because I'm down to clown with that. The other potential option. Nudes. Nudes. When I say nudes, I mean noodles. We could do like some egg noodles and potentially add those suckers too. I actually just found, I've had it for a long time. I've never had a chance to use it. Well, let me rephrase. I haven't used it yet. However, I found my pasta roller attachment to my mixer. So we could bust out a batch of egg noodles and add those to the whole thing. Chicken pho, aka pho ga. Unfortunately, this broth base not quite what, and that I don't have pho noodles, but I could certainly do a pho ga. I like pho ga. Pho bo is the beef pho. Pho ga is very good. It's also, a lot of people don't know about it, at least here in the U.S., just because everyone knows when they think pho, they tend to think of the beef-based. But honestly, the chicken stuff is phenomenal. We'll have to do that sometime. Accidental Chaos, I don't remember if you're on the Discord. If you are, drop that into the food recommendations channel. Hang on. Boop. There's a link to everything. The Discord, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. Drop the suggestion for pho in there, just so then that way I've got a record of it and I don't forget, because we can totally come around to it. I have made pho from scratch a number of times, specifically pho bo, beef pho. This was, oh gosh, 12 years ago for my birthday. I decided that I didn't want anything and I just wanted to have people that I hadn't seen in a long time come over and eat. So I made a giant pot of pho and just said, hey, my door's open starting at this time, just roll in and I'll feed you. So I had a whole bunch of people that like I hadn't seen in a long time show up, and a friend of mine from culinary school, his girlfriend was he's half Korean, half Vietnamese, and I think she was Korean. But they rolled up and immediately were like, coming up the walkway, they're like, "This smells like a pho place." I'm like, "That's a good compliment." So I'm good with that. Like pho K or phenomenal. Yeah, exactly. Not enough awesome pho restaurant names. Yeah, no joke. Okay, cool. Yeah, drop it on the Discord, Accidental Chaos. So, okay, well, if we're gonna kitchen sink this sucker, we should probably get started on the egg noodles first. And actually, I've got an idea. Instead of cutting them into kind of strips like you would think for like chicken noodle soup or something like that, what if got these big punches that are like cherry blossoms, and I got like this fluted one. What if we punch out the pasta, like the egg noodles, with these guys? I think that'd be cool. And I think we'll do that. I like that idea. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Alright. If we are going to make egg noodles, we need a bowl. I don't need a big bowl because I'm not necessarily making a ton. Alright. Let's see. I got a non-slip mat slip. Oh, by the way, it's Avocado Green KitchenAid's birthday, everybody. So if you would be so kind as to wish her a happy birthday, that would be fantastic. Avocado Green KitchenAid, for those that may not know, is actually my mom. So it is her birthday today. Okay. Egg noodles. I've got a recipe that I just kind of pulled up ahead of time over here that I'm looking at. It calls for 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon and a half of salt, 2 eggs, and what is that? A third a cup of water. So, okay, that is what we'll do. And we'll mix it up with a wooden spoon. Ugh. And then let it rest for, once it comes together and we kind of knead it a little bit, we're going to let it rest for about 30 minutes. And yeah, we'll let it rest for 30 minutes before we roll it out. Okay, so I got my flour. Two eggs. This is not the recipe that I thought it was. I thought this recipe called for heavy cream. Let's do this one. Okay. 2 cups of although normally I'm not a fan of what? No. That's not how I am not a fan of the scoop and sweep method when it comes to measuring out flour. It's far too inaccurate in my opinion. Well, and the opinion of most bakers. So, 1 cup of all-purpose flour runs 120 grams. So we're going to weigh out 240. So we're doing 2 cups. There we go. 240 grams of all-purpose flour. Yes. There we go. All right. Flour in. This is sea salt I just got out. Although this is way so labeled it ocean salt because when she was labeling it, for whatever reason, the sea salt escaped her. It just didn't come to mind, so she just labeled it ocean salt. Which is like, it comes from the ocean, it's salt, ocean salt. So that's what we go with. Alright. Put that together. Alright. We're going to do... go. There we go. Now it's finally coming up. What's taking it so long? Here we go. Let's look this. I don't really make pasta very often, like from scratch. When I say I don't make it very often, I think, well, other than Monday, the last time I think I made pasta was, I don't even remember. I do, however, want to learn how to make ramen noodles. And thankfully, I'm in communication with a couple of folks that are probably more knowledgeable about the production of ramen noodles than the two of them combined know more than probably 99.9% of people in the country. So, alright. That is Shaggy. Stir this. Need it. I'm just trying to bring this together. I'm not necessarily looking to make it super elastic, but I just want it to come together as a mass. And then I'm going to let it rest for 30 minutes, so then that way it relaxes a little bit. Because if you don't let it rest, when you go to roll it out and work it, it will just spring back because it's super tight, and you need to let the proteins and the gluten and everything relax a little bit. Alright, so that is one solid mass. Very good. Okay. We're gonna let this chill. 30. And I'm gonna wash my hands. Okay, next question. The chicken. Actually, let me just flip back over because probably missed quite a bit. Chicken and stars. Yeah, there we go. But not feeling it for soup with everything else. Hey, Maria. Let's see. Hey, Reaper Potato. Welcome, welcome. Gonna get busy lurk as well. Okay, no worries, Wild Speeder. Have a good one. Coke. Okay. For the chicken, there's the option of just kind of dicing it up and having it that way. Then there's also the option of turning it into those chicken meatballs, which thankfully will come together pretty quick. But it is one of those things that if I'm going to make it, we'll probably make it now. Hey, Scott2572. Well, we're kind of calling it kitchen sink soup at this point because it's all going in. It's chicken based, but it's kind of an East meets West sort of stock, which is currently going in the Instant Pot, which the timer finally did come on, by the way. But that's kind of where we're at. So the current question is do we turn the chicken breasts that I have into meatballs, or do we just kind of chunk it up and add it to the soup that way? So that's sort of the big thing real quick. I'm going to get a towel real quick and kind of dry the floor. Hey, Accidental Chaos is back. Welcome back again. So I'm going to put up my BRB screen while I get kind of this cleaned up a little bit so I'm not slipping and sliding everywhere. So I'll be back in just a moment.
Hello, boys and ghouls. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? DK's making a snack today. Shove it right into your mouth. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? Is he making it for me? DK's making a snack today. It's time for tactical snacking with DK. Making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? DK's making a snack today. Shove it right into your mouth. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? Is he making it for me? DK's making a snack today. It's time for tactical snacking with DK. Making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? DK's making a snack today. Shove it right into your mouth. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? Is he making it for me? DK's making a snack today. It's time for tactical snacking with DK. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? DK's making a snack today. Shove it right into your mouth. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? Is he making it for me? DK's making a snack today. It's time for tactical snacking with DK. Making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? DK's making a snack today. Shove it right into your mouth. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? Is he making it for me? DK's making a snack today. It's time for tactical snacking with DK.
Oh, there we go. Mic unmuted. Yeah, I had the timer up for that. I'm like, there's no way that I was gonna cut it out early. I'm like, I'm gonna let the whole thing play. Yeah. So Mr. Kingsley just fun. The whole way that it came about is pretty funny. One night in stream, he just it's like, oh, I should totally write him a jingle or whatever, and just randomly belted out some lyrics, and I clipped them, and it was the original jingle. And it was just him just kind of like off the cuff singing, and it was really funny, and I still have them, and I still use them periodically. But then he's like, no, you know what? I need to do like an actual proper jingle. And so he did it one night on stream, and it was, yeah, it was, oh man. I just had my face was hurting from smiling so much. It just made me so happy. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm kind of thinking like a pop-up. I'm like, great, whatever you want to do. Super, super happy. Hey, J to the MFD. Thank you for the follow, sir. Consequently, if you're not familiar with J to the MFD, the gentleman has a YouTube channel called Carpool Reactions. And he recently, actually over the last couple of days, did interviews with not only Mr. Grant Truesdale, but Nick Miller. And if you haven't had a chance to check those out, definitely go onto YouTube and watch them. They're good interviews, they're fun questions, and I really enjoyed it. So, welcome, buddy. It's been a rough one, Lester. Eldest dog. Oh, dude, accidental chaos. Dude, I'm so sorry to hear that. Seriously, losing a doggo just sucked so hard. I'm not looking forward to the day when R2 pass. We've lost one previously, and that sucked. So, hey, on the Soldier of Giants, dude. Welcome, buddy. Yeah, go for it. Do your lurk thing. It's all good. Actually, since Mrs. Hueso is here, if she can hear me, which I'm hoping she can, the chicken titty. Do you want me to turn it into meatballs or just chunk it up for the soup tonight? Since she's got to eat it, I figure I might as well ask her. The meatballs that I'm thinking are the ones that I made for the Chonko Nabe. Balls? Okay, balls it is. The lady hath spoken. All right. Since we're making balls. All right. We're busting out. Ooh. You know what? I'm going to... So our electrical here is a little wonky, I should say. And because the Instant Pot draws as much power as it does, I hesitate to use the food processor with that plugged in because it could very easily blow a circuit. So I'm going to actually plug this in to a non-connected thing because the electrical in this house, like I said, is very wonky. Meatballs, or the chicken meatballs for this, it's half pounded chicken. I've got 2 chicken breasts that I can use. I need to give them away. Might only need to use 1 because, I mean, they tend to be kind of chunky. A little bit of ginger juice, soy sauce, cornstarch, some panko, Japanese breadcrumbs, which for those that may be either have celiacs or have gluten allergies, we have found that Rice Krispies is a fantastic alternative to breadcrumbs. So if you wanted to make these chicken meatballs gluten-free, use Rice Krispies instead of panko or whatever breadcrumbs. That was something that we kind of figured out when I'd made a completely gluten-free chicken katsu curry. We did a couple of experiments and found that Rice Krispies have an amazing texture when fried up that most closely resembles the Japanese breadcrumbs panko. So that would be my recommendation for what to use. I'm going to go grab the work bowl for this. Okay. Alright, so that's in. Let's see. Need. Add some charges. Oh well. I'm just talking to myself. Come on. So there's the chicken. There's scallions. 1 egg. Mango. So we've got ginger here. Soy sauce. Soy sauce and cornstarch. Okay. Got that. Alright, so we need to grate some ginger for the ginger juice. So there's that. Let's get these rents. And yeah. Consequently, if you guys make your own stock, definitely hang on to the end of scallions. These have a ton of flavor, and if you make your own stock, they make a phenomenal addition. So, pro tip of the day. Grater, got that. Alright, should probably weigh the chicken and see where we're at with that. Okay. Survey says. Okay. Yep. We only want one of them for this because. So this package of just 2 right now. This is part of a bigger package that broke down and cooked up most of them. I'm only going to use one of these because this package is a little over £1. So one will be plenty, and since I'm just making meatballs for Mrs. Weso and myself, that'll be just good. Appreciate all the condolences has been especially hard on my dad, but he passed peacefully in his sleep. He was pretty old for a golden too. You know what? I'm glad that it was peaceful, accidental chaos, and then he just passed in his sleep. Hey, Echoes of Ash.
Let's get weird, folks. Come on.
Talked about you a little bit earlier. Because I made the ginger spice joke from yesterday, and we talked a little bit about the pumpkin bars that you had made and the freezing techniques that we had talked about. So, welcome. Anyways, I need to cut up a chicken titty. gloves were down there. That's what I was going. Since I got to cut up protein, we'll do it on a totally different cutting board so I don't cross-contaminate everything. Alright. Awesome. I ate like trash today. Made Velveeta and shells with some cut up chicken. You know what? I get it, to be honest. My go-to when it comes to, you know, garbage in, garbage out sort of thing is Jack in the Box tacos. That's my go-to for I'm eating like garbage. Okay, this can go back in the meat drawer. Alright, let's trim the fat off of this. Because dangly bit. We will move onto those. Should the dogs come around. Dogs always. Alright. Dog treats. I know I've talked about this before, but when it comes to like doing anything in the food processor especially, I will absolutely kind of break it down a little bit first, as opposed to just tossing stuff in there whole, simply because it takes way longer. Like if I were to just throw the whole chicken breast in there and try to process it to make it round, it would not go well. So honestly, like if you're doing anything, just do a little bit of cutting up first, and it'll just make your life so much easier. All I'm going to do is pulse that a bit in order to get it to a texture that I want. Okay. There we go. Let's pulse this a couple of times, and then we'll chop up the scallions and we'll add kind of everything else to it and get to it. There we go. I don't know if you saw the light flickering there. It's plugged into the same circuit as the light that I have right here. That kind of tells you about the power draw. Jack in the Box tacos are so bad but so good. Yeah, they really are. There's a reason why we call them death tacos, because you kind of feel like death after the fact and sort of regret your life choices, but you can't help but do it. So, alright, let's give these a chop. I'm not super worried about doing a fine mince on these because they're going into the food processor. That is an, oh, we forgot a piece. Go. All right. Ginger juice. Come on. That's the only problem with this particular grater, is it's always such a pain to grate anything. Little brush that this has, I normally keep right there, because if I'm going to grate ginger, I'm going to be usually standing right here. And it's my own fault that I left it on the drain board. There we go. Rinse. Alright, a couple of teaspoons of soy sauce. This is just a Japanese soy sauce. I think this is Yamasa brand, if I remember correctly. It's a whole bean Japanese soy sauce that I got at the market. If all you got is Kiko Man, use Kiko Man. If I didn't give that thing a rinse, it's a beast to try and clean later on. Alright. Alright, let's put the egg in now. Pulse it a few times, get it mixed up before we add in the cornstarch and the panko. So then that way it's not super broken down. It actually acts like the binding agents that they are. Oops. There we go. Alright, what's about a tablespoon of cornstarch? I'm just kind of ishing on this. If cornstarch isn't your jam, there's no reason why you can't use potato starch. Tapioca starch would be another really good one to use too. About 6 tablespoons. That's about 6. Probably add a little bit more. That should be. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of the consistency I was looking for, to have it come together like that. So we're just going to let this kind of chill out on the side. And then when we're ready to bring it all together, come on, there we go. When we're ready to bring it all together, we'll scoop out the meatballs and actually cook it in the soup itself. Because that's going to sort of be my game plan for everything, really. Alright. There we go. I have to make dog food, so. I only thought of that because I use the food processor when I make our dog's food. For those that maybe haven't been here before, Um, I make our dogs food and have made their food for about the last, what, seven, almost 8 years or something like that. They're on effectively really what you can kind of call sort of a raw diet. It's based off of the book by Dr. Karen Becker. We got turned onto it by a trainer that worked with our big guy, Jane, which he's asleep in the other room. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't actually come in yet. She recommended it, and so we gave it a shot, and the results were super noticeable. My mother-in-law's dog hated eating, was pretty lethargic, and her dog wasn't that old, but he just wasn't terribly interested in food and just didn't have a lot of energy. Once he got moved over to the basis of this diet, he perked up and had the energy like he was a puppy. So it was one of those things that once we really saw that, we were converted to the idea of that, and so I've been making their food ever since. They'll hydrate. Okay. Meatball stuff is done. Dough is resting. We need to thaw some shrimp. I'm not going to thaw too many, just because, again, it's just me and Mrs. Waiso. So that was just a bag of raw, peeled and deveined shrimp. We just kind of happened to keep them on hand. I'm just going to get some water on these and let them sit. By the time we're ready to go, they'll be completely thawed, and then they'll cook pretty quickly. If I have tacos, it's from the taco trucks. You know, I love me a good taco truck, Echoes of Ash.
David!
And if I ever have access to it, then that's what I love eating off of. I don't really have any good taco trucks in the immediate vicinity, and I especially don't have any good tacos available, mostly late night. Whenever I get those cravings for the death tacos, it's always going to be late night. And unfortunately, we just don't have any good, like, accessible late night kind of options. Okay. Shrimp now on. We've got some onion. Let's go with maybe 2 leaves of napa. So now we get to start chopping it. If I had a clip of it, we could put on chopping broccoli. This is there. Come on. There we go. Alright. Hey, Mrs. Waiso's home, everybody.
Yeah, I see people in the house.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I did see a guy out there earlier cutting the lawn, but I didn't know if he was new owner or what exactly. Jack in the Box doesn't exist here in Wisconsin. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Title sold, like property changed hands.
Oh, okay.
So, how do you? I mean,
Come on, baby. Mwah. There's Puppy. Oh, there's some.
and
chicken.
yes, I had gas, Lumpy Pickle. I saw that. That's right. So much gas. Tooted the whole way home. What is this?
What is what?
This dough here.
Oh, it's egg noodle dough. We are going to roll out and then punch, or me.
I can help. Thank you, Accidental Chaos.
We are going to be using these cutters to cut out little things of dough to have like little cherry blossoms and stuff like that.
Too bad there isn't a way, well, a food item, oh, maybe a carrot type fleck, to like somehow glue it to the flour so you have like this center of a flower. But
What do you mean?
what are you paying for gas? 509 was our Costco, which I tried calling you, Avocado KitchenAid. I tried calling you while at the gas station. Well, just before. But
Oh, hi, Jane.
happy birthday! And I did my part. Yeah, but Costco gas is $5.09 is what I paid, and I did not fill up. I put in $40 and it's a little up for half a tank. Yeah. It's crazy. You guys have to be paying way more than that because they're taxes. Gas tax. Too many beans.
All the beans.
Let me squeeze past you.
Okay, let me shut the door. Because now that we've kind of done all that, we're at the vegetable prep phase. Alright, so there's carrot, there's that. I'm gonna go wash these onions. All I'm doing is kind of slicing all the vegetation up into bite size / roughly the same amount of time cooking. So then that way everything comes together nice and quick and I'm not having to sit there and add individual ingredients at different times. But yeah, this is just a couple of cremini mushrooms that throw in. In case anybody was wondering, yes, I did wash these under running water. I also have a sponge that is exclusively for cleaning vegetables and vegetation. There's kind of a commonly held, I'm going to say old wives' tale, or belief that one should not ever wash mushrooms because they're sponges and they will soak up all the moisture. That's... Yes, they're technically fungi, but no, they do not actually suck up the water like a sponge. It's completely fine to do that. I will actually use the sponge, and that's what I use to kind of scrub them. And so especially with like button or creminis like this, I'll start at the top and then just kind of clean it downwards and then come to the underside. Yeah, it's actually been shown and tested that mushrooms do not soak up the moisture like that. Whatever moisture is gained is literally like surface moisture, really. Alright. I don't know.
You don't know.
It's kind of whatever you're feeling like, really. Yes, they are. Oh, gray squash, not water chestnuts out, none of that. What would be a help is if you could give gray squash a quick rinse, and if you would give the broccoli, not putting it all in, just a little bit.
We're having broccoli soup.
Yes, we're having broccoli soup because it's a large crown. Let's see.
I'm a fan of broccoli cheese.
I am too, but that's not what this is going to become.
Well, tomorrow. Although it's starting to get a little warm.
Thank you.
Starting to get a little warmer. We finally have some.
That's right. It's time to pound your.
There we go. This is a Mexican gray squash, like I was talking about earlier. It looks a little bit like a zucchini, but you can see the outside definitely looks a little bit different. Once we cut it open.
This is broccoli.
The interior is a little bit different. The seed structure usually is a little bit smaller than zucchini, so it doesn't take up quite as much. I want to say it's related to the Korean squash, which if you see it, the outside looks a lot like this, where it's kind of that green and white netted mottled look, but the interior is much more yellow, and it tends to be a lot firmer too. If you can get a hold of those are really good. It's going to be in the triple digits. Most of Texas got put into a level 1 drought state a week again. Oh, jeez.
That's awful, which is crazy because here, April broke rain records from the last time, and then May came close to breaking records of rain. And June's right up there, but this is finally, like, the sun's come out. It was, what, 80 degrees yesterday?
78, I think
Yeah.
is what I had.
This weekend's supposed to be warm. It might get as high as 90, which for us is pretty warm.
Yeah,
I mean, I was literally in flannel pajamas just a few days ago.
that's true. And then, I mean, like last year, there was that heat wave where it was like 110.
Oh, it was 100.
112, I think it was the...
No, we were at 118 one day.
Ugh,
It was 3 days, 115, 16, and then 118.
yeah.
It's the hottest it's ever been. Well, I think the hottest ever is like 119. But yeah, most of the trees facing west were, completely burned. Even all the pine trees were burned. Tons of plants died.
I think that'll be
It was
sufficient.
bad. But that's not gonna happen this year, I hope. Should I put that back in the fridge?
Yeah.
We're gonna have broccoli tomorrow.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how things are. Gas is so expensive, and airplane tickets is nuts. They, my extended family, my brothers and sisters. Long story. My dad passed away last year, and they want to bury his ashes, which is hilarious because he made it very clear to me, and he didn't want that, and nor would he pay for that. Like, he paid for everything else, but he didn't want that, so he didn't pay for it. But his widow is very much, nope, we're gonna do this.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
I thought it was, what's her face?
No,
the eldest daughter.
his widow wants it. But maybe the other kids do too. But they're like, "Come on, you need to fly down for it." I'm all, "It's $500."
Are you high?
That is not happening. And it's a 2-hour flight. We're not even talking cross country. Well, it is cross country from the top to the bottom.
Yeah,
But
it's north to south crossing.
yeah. $500. I'm not joking. It was for one day.
Yeah.
Just literally show up in the morning and leave same day. Nuts. Ain't nobody got money for that.
Yeah. When it's, I was really wanting to, if possible, and this was before looking at airline tickets, I really wanted to go to Mad with Power.
Where's that at?
Mad with Power, I thought it was Atlanta.
It's a concert, right?
Yeah, well, it's kind of a festival being put on by Ty from Lords of the Trident.
Gotcha.
It's also got like video games, and it just looks like it'd be awesome. There's a lot of Twitch fan that was going to be there.
He seems to do these festival things pretty frequently.
Well, this is one that he is putting on. That he himself puts on.
Participating in.
Correct. Which apparently kind of came about as a result of some stuff having to do with prog power, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, but it seems like it'd be really cool. There's a lot of awesome bands playing, and a lot of cool people are going to be there. And I was just like, hey, it'd be a lot of fun to go to it. And then I looked at ticket prices to fly there. Not for the festival itself. I have zero qualms with those ticket prices. The tickets to fly there, when I looked at it for like a round trip, I think I was looking at like $700 one way.
Yeah.
I'm like,
the first time I flew to Europe was.
I'm like, I love you guys. I'll watch it on live stream if it's happening.
Yeah, I went to Denmark for $400. Granted, it was a while ago, but
yes.
But still, to just go in our own country is $700.
Yeah.
Well, one way.
One way.
Like I said, it was going to be $500 to go to California and back.
Yeah.
So that'll be a hard pass.
Hard pass indeed. Okay, so it looks like our vegetation is ready to go. The shrimp is thawing. The stuff for the meatballs is ready to go. We just got to drop it in there when the time comes. I'm going to cut up the pork real quick and then kind of get cleaned up, and then we're going to start working on the egg nudes. Live fresh nudes. Yes, pictures of noodles. Feel free to send me, DM me anytime. Those are the nudes that I like getting. Okay. This was a pork roast that I made in the Instant Pot. I think it was Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday. And since this is the last thing I'm going to be really cutting up with this. Alright. Pork be done. There's that. Get that out of here. Trying to get some stuff cleaned up. Kind of your thing. Alright, let's give this a quick cleaning. Sanitize that work surface since we're going to be rolling out.
Sanitation.
So that's a bleach-based cleaner that I just used, by the way. And bleach-based. Uh-oh. Okay, home now. What did I miss? Does Mrs. Hueso still have gas? Yes. Yes, she does. So that was just water that I have in a squirt bottle for when the little girl acts up. But after spraying it down with bleach and kind of letting it do its thing, I come back with water. Just to give it a quick wipe down. Dude power, yeah. We do have fun in here. Hail hydrate. Okay. Well, this should be fun. I've never used this. I've had it for I don't know how long. No, it wasn't cheap. But this is the pasta rolling attachment for the KitchenAid mixers. And
I think you have used it, it's just been
I honestly do not recall ever having used it.
That's true, because you couldn't borrow your parents.
Well, they've got an old school manual crank pasta machine.
I remember borrowing it.
Yeah. Big question is do I risk blowing the circuit? Remember, everybody, be sure to lock your KitchenAid when you go to use it so the head doesn't fly up. Alright. Alright, that is in. Okay, everybody, cross your fingers. Thankfully, we've got battery power in the event that something happens. Okay. Very cool. Or why don't I just turn off that camera so then that way...
There it is.
See? Now we can actually see stuff.
Yeah.
Alright. Flour all up in there. Flour all over the place. Woo!
That's a party, alright.
It's a party, alright. Okay.
Which way does it come out?
The bottom?
I know, but...
What way does it come out? It comes out the bottom. Down.
I know.
It comes out down.
The bottom closer to you or over what looks like the core?
It's straight down.
I didn't know.
It's just a pair of rollers.
Oh, gotcha. I'm sorry. I thought it was like the parents were like curved.
Oh, no. Alright. Okay. let's see what happens. It rolled.
Oh my gosh! It's so big!
So meaty.
Like he did. And you opened it half?
I did.
What's the thought behind that? Or it's just random? Like, I don't know.
It's not so much that it's random. It's more of think of it kind of like as you were doing when you did the biscuits layers.
Yes. Nicole says, pro tip, don't wear a tie when using a pasta roller.
That is an excellent pro tip there, Lumpy Pickle.
And definitely tie your hair back.
Got a little nice. Okay. Well, I was debating about whether or not I wanted to roll this any thinner because it's on the whitest setting, number 1. It's about, I don't know, what is that? About 1/8 of an inch. So about 1.5 mil for all the metric folk. But I think, you know what? I'm going to take it down to a 2. Just a little bit thinner, I think. Okay. Cool. Set that off to the side. Okay. God, no. Oh! As I dust myself with flour like crazy. Oh, Night Song's here! Hey, what's going on, Night Songs? Do you want to come help punch pasta?
It's driver's license. My renewal came today.
Yes, it did. Yes, we have the ability to get an enhanced driver's license, which will allow us to cross into Canada, as opposed to necessarily having to have a full-on passport.
If we drive.
If we drive, which Canada isn't all that far away.
No.
4 or 5 hours.
We're hoping maybe we can go in September.
Really hoping.
Since we can't afford airfare anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. At this point, with gas prices, who knows? How about let's move you down to this end, and then I will work down here.
Okay.
So
Well, I mean, I get the pressing part.
yeah, press and kind of twist a little bit in order to make sure that you cut all the way to
Should
the
I
dust.
just leave it or pull it out?
No, you can leave it, and then we'll pull it out a little bit later. But
Well, I didn't dip mine in flour. Should I have done that?
it's a good idea, just because then that way it kind of helps ensure that the dough doesn't stick.
Okay, next. I'm assuming this dough is different than other dough.
This is an egg noodle dough, as opposed to like an Italian pasta dough, which would
I was thinking, could we?
what?
Well, I mean, in theory, couldn't we like use this to make other things like mac and cheese?
Oh, you mean the pasta?
Yeah. Hey, you're pulling yours out.
Because when I pull it up, they stuck at the inside.
Well, I'm gonna do a different one then.
Okay, fine. Then what do you got? You've got.
I got stars and flowers.
Here, do that one. I haven't done that one.
It's like arts and crafts.
It is. Maybe I should change the channel category to arts and crafts. No, we're still food and drink.
Arts and crafts with your food. Oh! Timer! Are you gonna force that one?
I might, because you're playing with the other one. I might just do all of this one.
Okay.
So then that way you can alternate between the other flowers.
Fine.
Fine. What?
You're fine. Oh my gosh.
Huh.
Hilarious. I found this hilarious. I'm the senior accountant. Like, it's hilarious. Okay.
Are we talking about the Bloody Mary Fest?
No, that was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Side note. So, when I put stuff into the financial program, I label it. For whatever reason, my predecessor didn't. I mean, they labeled it, but they gave the things weird codes. So if we got a donation from Wells Fargo, they would put a number, which is essentially the date, and then CW. Like, who knows what that is? If it's from Wells Fargo, I put WF, Wells Fargo. So yesterday, we got a big fat
Donation.
well, we have one of those, donate plastic boxes that you could drop your, coins or money into at a margarita fest. So I enter it in, and I type in BM Fest, and then I said it out loud.
Well, it was the Bloody Mary Festival.
That's
is what
what
it
I
was.
said.
You said margarita.
Oh, I just said margarita. Sorry.
It's okay.
But anyways, I was like, it was a fun show for people. Or was it?
That joke will make funny to older people, or
Come on. You guys get the joke, right? A BM Fest? Anyway, that was yesterday. No, today, I couldn't think of it, but Boss was like, what's on $100? Who's on the $100 bill? I'm like, I don't know. It's either Benjamin or Grant. One of the two. And the other one's on the other one. Well, he's all, well, since you don't know, you owe me $100. And $150. Anyways, so then they're like, well, who's on the $2 bill? And one of the ladies, one of the other directors comes wandering in. And I like bring her into the conversation. She's like completely oblivious to what we're talking about. I'm all, Megan, who's on the $2 bill? Thomas Jefferson, of course.
that is correct, by the way.
She's like, no, really, you gotta tell me. I'm gonna go Google it. So I stick my head in because she's in a meeting. I interrupt the entire meeting, and everybody like looks at me. Who's on the $2 bill? I'm all, Thomas Jefferson. It was that kind of day today.
Megan's the big boss, right?
She's the second in charge.
Okay.
Not the big boss. She's not my boss. But she's in charge of a lot of other. She's very nice. Everybody's very nice.
Okay.
It's kind of interesting how the shelter has got an eclectic group of people from all walks of life. And yet, yeah, we all get along. Like, we all have one common goal. It's awesome to see. Like, you only hear about it sometimes, but to see it in action and everybody supporting one another, regardless of sexual orientation or political choice, or like, we're all there to support the animals. See? Pickle, he got it.
What? Oh, did he? Yep, exactly.
Because all old people, that's all they care about is their bowel movement. I had a good bowel movement.
Who knows? Oh,
I was raised by a nurse, and you talk about anything at any time. So, I'm down to clown if you want to talk about it. I know a lot of people freak out, like, how dare you bring this up right now about food? That's when we were all together and talk about stuff. Yeah. So there you go. Accounting jokes.
I'm just bringing a pot of salted water up to a boil.
Is that one working?
Is what one?
Yeah. Oh, there's the pot. That is an 8-quart stock pot made
it's
by
frozen again. Oh, yep, it is.
Made by Cuisinart.
This is the 12th quart.
Oh, my mistake. That's the 12th quart. Made by Cuisinart. It can be purchased on Amazon.
So okay, we're gonna cook the pasta before adding it to soup and everything. So now the stock is just in chill mode. The hour is up, so the power is just on keep warm, and we're waiting for it to come down in pressure. You can actually unplug it at this point if you want, and it'll still naturally come down because the pressure lock is mechanical and not related to the electronics of the Instant Pot at all. The electronics are purely for the induction burner that it is. So I could actually unplug it right now, which I just did, and it'll come down naturally, although we could vent it if we really wanted. But like I said earlier, problem with venting it and it being as full as it is it'll end up geysering. Like, I would want to take this actually outside if I was going to do that for a quick release. But other than that, we are effectively ready to go. So I think what we shall do... I know what I need. I thought better of it because I didn't fill up the big pot all the way because I'm not making a heck of a lot of pasta. So there's no need to fill up a 12-quart pot completely. Like, it's maybe half full, and I have these pasta baskets that you can just drop into stock pots and make the whatever in it and pull it out. I'm gonna have to just kind of put these in manually, which is fine. And since these are pretty fresh, they shouldn't take all that long. I just got to make sure that they don't end up becoming one blob. Okay, so that's good to go. Oh, you didn't even see me do it. So anyways, got them all in the bowl. We'll give them a good, we'll give them a boil in the pot, and then I think what I'll do is subsequently parboil everything in that pot, then pull everything out, and we'll get kind of everything in soup bowls ready to go. And then when we're ready, we'll add the broth and we can eat. Yeah, I think that'll be our order of operations for today. There's our soup bowls. And alright. Need to show a little bit of restraint, so then that way I'm not ending up with a gargantuan bowl of soup that I'm never going to finish, or Mrs. Hueso's never going to finish hers, because I do not want to waste. Alright, that's good to go. Meatballs. The meatballs really should be done in the soup.
Easier to do it another way. That's fine.
No. Okay, so the meatballs we're going to go ahead and cook in the soup. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out what I'll need for dinner tonight, get it into a smaller stock pot, bring it up to a boil, season it, because there's no, other than like the shiitake mushrooms and the kombu that's in there, there's no salt or anything like that. So we'll season it. No salt. We'll get it seasoned up, then we'll cook the meatballs in it, before pulling them out and getting them into the bowls, and then using the soup that we just used to cook the meatballs for the soup. Yes. That is what we shall do. Yeah, like the shrimp and the vegetables and the pasta we'll go ahead and just do in the salted water that I got going over on the stove. Since that'll be just fine. Shrimp will go last, so then that way it's not imparting any kind of weird flavors or anything like that to everything else. Yes. Okay. And that can go back into this. At this point, I'm just kind of mumbling to myself, it sounds like. Mumble, mumble, mumble. Did you? Shrimp. Row. Vegetation. Thankfully, the vegetation won't take too long. Pasta should only take a few minutes. Sorry to leave the fire. My birthday dinner's calling me. I'll have to watch the video later. Yep, no worries. Have a good birthday dinner, Avocado Green KitchenAid. Happy birthday again. Take care.
Happy birthday! I tried calling.
Color me surprised.
Oh, yeah. Don't judge me. Not all of us are as cool as you are.
Hey, Matt Kelly.
Did you call Avocado Green KitchenAid, Kelly?
Hi, puppies.
I tried, but she no answer. On the Soldier of Giants, you're supposed to be lurking. Which, how is the zoo?
You pardon me. I'm going to be taking this outside.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna come over here.
Actually, would you open up the sliding glass door
Just
for me?
kidding. I'm gonna open the sliding glass.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to take this outside and kind of get a little bit more of a... I'm going to vent it a bit. So then that way we can kind of get the party going.
Coming back in.
Alright. Coming through.
There you go, home. Yeah, how's the zoo? We haven't seen you in a while. On the Soldiers of Giants. Yes, you do call her home. She's a pretty good mom. I did try calling, she didn't answer, and that's okay. I could try again. Thank you, Avocado. Thank you on the Soldiers of Giants. Yes, key phrases. Birthday. Food. Money. Oh, that's a key phrase. What would be some other key words? You're awesome. I hear the, I'm sorry I can't just take the, camera with, but Steam's going. Anybody else have a birthday coming up? Mine is in August. Family-wise, I think mine is next. No, just kidding. Papa. Anyways, I got nothing. How are you guys? What's going on? Yeah, I got nothing. I'm sorry. I'm at a loss. These are soup bowls. They're gigantic. At least I only fill mine up maybe halfway. There's no way that I could eat the whole thing. It's just nice to have, everybody has it, everything in it has its space. You can move things around. So we like to use these for like war wonton soup and stuff like that. And since this is sort of like a war wonton soup, mine is the wonton. At least that's how I understood it. Maybe he changed it, which he does that a lot. He'll tell me A and it kind of turns out to be B sometimes. That's okay. B tastes just as great. Anything exciting? Summer plans? Going anywhere? Doing anything? As we discussed, airfare is outrageous. That won't be happening.
It's still venting.
Yeah. We were kind of hoping to maybe drive up to Canada in the fall, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, the stars need to align just right. But it's our anniversary. 15 years. We should do something nice.
I know.
And Canadia's not that far. Oh, what happened with work on the Soldiers of Giants? He's having trouble recovering from work today.
Oh no, what happened?
Yeah, what happened? So as a, like, what would be, I wonder what a typical day is like for you. I mean, obviously you feed the animals. Do you, well, I said like that one lady in that concert we saw, she said, she was a French lady. You remember what band she was in? She was all Canada. She was French, so.
Was that Visions of Atlantis?
Maybe?
Were we watching Dragon Force and Visions of Atlantis?
Could be. Super skinny lady in that cool outfit with the...
Yeah, it was Visions.
Yeah.
Visions of Atlantis, yeah, when they opened for Dragon Force on the recent tour that they just did.
Yeah, we watched, and she's all, they were in, yeah, she was in Canada.
Yeah.
UTA was on, so of course that's why we watched. But she's
For
all
Banjo
Canadian.
Force.
Yeah. But nothing really exciting. Well, we might have some friends from Canada come down and hang out. That might be happening. Just hot, real hot. Did I mention it was hot? Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I have no doubt you're dehydrated on the Soldiers of Giants. Are you... Look how low I am. Are you drinking electrolytes with your water? I mean, of course you get too busy sometimes, but it's so hot there. I would be adding, you don't have to add a lot of Gatorade, and you could get like a 0 calories, 0 sugar if you wanted to, but and just do like a quarter of the bottle with your water. Yeah, I don't. Our good friends moved to Texas, and oh man, I miss them a lot. But I went down there the first time, and it was Labor Day weekend of 2020. And that was I don't know how you do this. This is, I mean, I grew up in Southern California. I get hot. Like, you get used to some hot, but that was super humid and gross hot. Thank you. I don't know how to pronounce that. Keurig 77. Thank you. Not that this is my channel, it's hubby's channel, but
Cregan 77, thank you so much for the follow.
Sorry, I'm not that cool with words.
It's okay.
I'm a numbers girl. Most of the time. Yeah, but going down there and visiting that heat is just unbearable. The humidity, I thought I was going to die. It was unreal. So I can imagine. And then the animals have to be struggling too. I mean, these are animals that aren't really from this climate. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, you need to fix that. On the Soldier Giant said He forgot to drink today,
Oh, no
and
way.
he ran out of electrolyte powder. Cregan, is that right? He's also from he, she, whatever you identify as. Insert there. Tell me, and I'll call you that. Is also in Texas.
Oh.
Texas is pretty big. Care to tell us what region?
Yeah, there's a number of folks in Texas.
Yeah.
Mini Metal, when he was here earlier, I don't know if he's still around. He's in Texas.
Mini Metal on the Soldier of Giants. You're in Texas,
He
and
is.
Accidental Chaos is in Texas too. Nope, you're in New Zealand. There's another A that's in Texas. There's a lot of people in Texas. It's a cool state. Closer to Louisiana, which
So,
I've been to.
Texarkana.
Texarkana, yeah. Yeah, Texarkana. East Texas. Thank you. Eastbound and down.
Loaded up.
When I hear Arcana, that's what I think of.
Because there's beer in Texarkana.
Yeah, see, I thought so. Accidental Chaos is in Texas. And I want to say Houston,
Ish.
I think. I'm pretty good with some things. Ponce Queen and Zodic are also fellow Texans. See?
Oh. Pants Queen?
Ponce Queen, yes. Well, this is Pawn.
Pawns Queen. I did not realize that they were both fellow Texans too.
Texas is pretty cool, and I
Right
try to
on.
go often because, like I said, our good friends are down there. I go to Austin when I usually go, which is, an hour from Houston, ish. Maybe not. I don't
Ish.
remember. Maybe it's San Antonio. That's close to Austin. Anyways, but airfare right now is outrageous, so that won't be happening this year.
Groovy.
And it's not like you could just drive. If only.
Driving is probably more expensive.
True. Would you like to share how much you're paying for gas? Those of you that are driving and in the States, or even not in the States. I'm curious what, per liter in other countries. Three-ish hours from Austin, depending on how fast you're driving. Just accidental chaos. Hey,
Nice.
what are you doing? Is this chicken for the dogs?
Yes.
There's some
There's like 4 pieces.
chicken.
Chicken bits from when I trimmed up the chicken titty.
But I wanted to give the dogs around. We have 2 dogs.
Jane and Vera.
Jane and Vera. Jane Comm, yes, named after Firefly. And his very favorite gun, Vera. Our first dog, Wash, died. Anyhow.
Right?
That's a great idea, getting a Texas concert Discord going. That's a great idea. And $4.09 a gallon. Accidental Chaos is paying for gas.
409. Well, you're in Texas, so
Yeah, I paid $5.09 today, which is crazy. Usually it's not that high. We're in the Pacific Northwest.
Portland metro area.
Yeah. Cregan? Is that how do you say that? I would say Cregan is what it looks like to me. Again, I'm not really a words person. So. On the Solar Giants, $5.20 a gallon. Crazy. Well, Avocado Green KitchenAid in Southern California was saying it was $5.89. Oh, so you can see what he's doing. He's sort of doing the Japanese pho, which is Vietnamese, and but like ramen is the same way. You put your stuff in the bowl and then add your liquid.
Yeah, so I was just kind of adding some stuff and then get the vegetation in there.
$4.58 a gallon. I mean, and compared to what I was paying, what I paid today, that'd be great. But
yeah, there are gas stations here in the area that are $5.60, $5.70.
Yeah, I went to Costco because I went to Costco because I had no choice. My car was very empty, but I left late for work, and I was just gonna go. I needed to get to work. Not that I'm salary, so if I showed up late, no big deal, but I wanted to be there, because the sooner you get in, the sooner you get to leave. What brings you here, Cregan? Do you have any questions or anything? This one here is a master of questions. And helping. He loves helping people make things better, so. Or if you have a particular dietary restriction, feel free to bring it up, because
yeah,
we can find an alternative. It was fun discovering that
Rice Krispies
could be used as a replacement for bread when frying food.
Like panko breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
There's vegetation. Yeah, I tend to do culinary tech support, as it were.
Tech support.
Okay, I'm gonna go retrieve the Instant Pot.
It's done steaming.
Vented.
It done vented. It had enough to say. Just let it all out. It's important to vent. Shouldn't hold things in.
Okay.
Which is true. Psychology has taught us you hold things in, it can mess with your health, gives you stress, all kinds of stuff. The vegetables are excellent.
So at the beginning of the stream,
Did you just like blanch them in the liquid?
yeah, in the salted water.
You said the beginning of it. Oh.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Oh.
There we go. So at the beginning of the stream, I talked about how normally I like to especially when making stock, I like to let the Instant Pot come down naturally, so then that way it doesn't stir everything up. Because I usually have to drive to Dallas or Houston or San Antonio, bigger cities than where I live. I saw food, and yeah, food is good, so I say, awesome. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here, and you know, to any of the lurkers that are hanging out, thanks for being here too. So this is incredibly loaded, but the reason why I like to kind of let it naturally come down is that it doesn't stir up the stock anywhere near as much. I mean, look at that color. Look at that golden color. And yeah, there is a bit of a layer of fat on there from the skin of the stewing hens as well as the chicken feet. But I'm not getting rid of that. I actually want that. So I am measuring out about 2 quarts of this stock. And the reason why I'm actually ladling it out like this, as opposed to just kind of like doing a big dump and strain, is so that I'm not stirring up as much of the particulate matter that's actually kind of down on the bottom. Make some great freaking fruit. Yes. Oh, well, thank you, Accidental Chaos. I appreciate that. And thank you on the Soldiers of Giants. I tend to take things to a little bit more of an extreme than most people. I mean, this is just Thursday night dinner, and I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna make soup, I'm gonna, make it from scratch, kind of thing. And thankfully, because of the Instant Pot, chicken stock doesn't take anywhere near as long as if I was doing it traditionally just on the stove. Which I have threatened to do like a stock making stream where it's just the overhead cam is, focused on the pot like overnight, which would just be kind of funny.
ASMR.
Yeah, it'd be ASMR, like, nobody's on camera. It's just the stock slowly simmering. But this particular stock is kind of in a East meets West style. I don't know if it's really a style, it's just kind of what I was feeling. Besides the giant kelp kombu here, I've got some shiitake mushrooms, I got some napa cabbage, some daikon radish, I've got a daepa, which is a Korean giant onion that I pulled from the garden this morning and put in. But I also got like carrot, celery, and onion, and a sprig of parsley. I didn't add any peppercorns, I forgot to do that. But it smells awesome. And I am sure it tastes very bland. And the only reason why it tastes bland is because, well, there's no salt in it. Well, I haven't tasted it yet, so... I mean, so far it smells good, and it's looking really good. It's got a fantastic color to it. And like I said, I mean, it smells great. I mean, at least it does to me. What does Mrs. Weso say? Does it smell like garbage? Does it smell like a dumpster fire?
I don't like that video.
Yeah.
You're feeding us garbage.
You're feeding us garbage, yeah.
No, it's the police. They're here to arrest you because you're feeding us garbage.
But, actually...
To be honest, I can't really smell it. Not over there, anyways.
Yeah. But there's, like, a chicken foot.
That smells good.
And I use stewing hens, which, if you can get a hold of stewing hens for making chicken stock, that's what I would absolutely use. If you can't, I recommend chicken legs. But the feeder in there, because it adds a lot of collagen, and when this cools down, it'll be like...
It'll be like Jell-O.
Yeah. Peanut butter. Pretty darn basic.
Collagen's really good for you.
Oh, when he's feeling good, he'll sometimes add honey.
What?
Peanut butter and honey is pretty tasty.
Do you have a bread you like then on the Soldiers of Giants? Like, cause actually my co-worker gave me some bread today to bring home. I'm excited to try. I'm thinking of toasting it up for this.
Okay, let's give it a taste real quick.
Ooh, how's it taste? And we'll speak the truth. We will not lie to you. If it's bad, I will say it's bad.
If it's garbage, I will say as much.
I doubt it's true garbage, but I'm sure it's. Let's see.
Give it a blow and give it a taste.
I'm gonna say, is it really hot? Needs salt.
That's what. Yes.
Totally needs salt.
Of course it does.
That is bland.
That's what I said.
Surprisingly bland.
Surprisingly bland. I'm actually going to season it with this Lee Kum Kee mushroom bouillon powder because it kind of hits all the right notes, and it has salt, and it's got that MSG as well as the ING, which...
What is the ING?
It is disodium inosinate and disodium guanylate. So everybody is like, oh, MSG. It's like it's a flavor enhancer, right? Well, yes, that is correct. However, it's only half of the equation. The other half of that equation is the I and the G, the disodium inosinate and guanylate or whatever. Anyways, if MSG and the ING are in like a 50-50 ratio, what happens is they have a synergistic effect and will
that is bland.
Have
surprisingly bland.
8 times the perceived savoriness that one would by itself. So if you wanted to make sort of like the ultimate seasoning salt, 90% by weight of salt, be it like Himalayan, kosher, whatever, and then 5% MSG, and then 5% of that ING, and that will crank up the perceived saltiness / savoriness of whatever it is that you're seasoning. So much so that you actually end up adding less salt because of that.
Yeah, but isn't MSG a type
science?
Isn't MSG a type of salt?
MSG, aka monosodium glutamate. It's
Sodium is salt, right?
well, sodium is an element. Just because there's sodium doesn't necessarily mean that it's
Oh, okay. So MSG is not a salt, or is it?
Not in the way that we would think of it as.
I'm
like
just
table
like
salt.
heart-healthy folk need to go low salt.
Yeah.
So could we would this truly replace that, or is it just a triple version of difference?
No, it's not. It's not so much that it's a triple version.
These are the conversations we have because I don't know that much about food.
So So if for instance you're on like a low salt diet, for heart reasons usually, and you're using a seasoning salt that has not only salt but MSG and that ing, you end up using less salt than you normally would to achieve the same amount of seasoning. It's chemistry that the Japanese kind of.
You've already said. I get that, but I guess I'll have to research the level of salt in MSG and the level of salt in the blah blah blah
ing.
Those of you at near the Google, if you want to ask Google. Not that it's a wrong thing. I mean, my levels are okay. I don't have to worry about heart health.
That's true. She had blood work done.
Yeah. I'm very healthy. I went to a doctor's appointment this week, and my doctor was shocked. She's like, "You're amazingly healthy. Your levels are good."
So I added 6 teaspoons of that. The can calls for 2 teaspoons per cup of liquid. I was aiming for a little less than half of what it would be to make to season this, just so then that way I kind of have a starting point. That was nice.
A lot better. That's good.
Yeah, in fact, I'm thinking just leave it be.
You probably could get away with a hair more, but it's borderline. If you put too much, it'll be blocked.
Yeah, it is very much borderline.
But we're gonna have essentially the food will give flavor too. So
yeah. So because of that, I'm not gonna season it.
Oh, you're gonna reduce it now, or?
No, I gotta make the meatballs.
Oh, meatballs. That's right. I asked for meatballs. Yeah. Here again,
Excuse me, Jay.
I came into the marriage with zero knowledge of food. I was told to go to the market and buy groceries and left crying because I was like, there's food here, but I don't know how it works together. I was raised by a single mom who taught, who we had TV dinners a lot, or
Hit the talk button.
spaghetti, and the other thing we had a lot of was spaghetti and pizza. She did the best she could. You got the cops on the line waiting in case they gotta come in and bust the door down. Nice. Don't want to go off the chain now. Be careful. That PB could be too much to handle.
A little too spicy. So
Actually, the nearest police station's a little ways.
I'll kind of show what I'm gonna be doing.
Yeah, what is that?
So this is the meatball mix.
Oh,
So I'm gonna be doing kind of in the style of a quenelle, as it's called, and it's I haven't made quenelles in like a billion years.
and this like sort of like a little football, maybe?
Yeah, it's like a little football. Used to be really good at it. Haven't done it ever.
Okay. They're gonna taste good.
Okay, so maybe I won't do them like that.
You want me to wash my hands and make balls?
No, because we have a little disher. Or at
We
least
have a
should.
disher. We don't have a little disher. I think our disher is
Oh,
too
we have a
big.
little disher.
Maybe. Yeah, you should call the bland police. That first drink was very bland. Like, baby.
Yeah.
don't.
Well, but that's how stock is.
That's true. That's true.
When you first make, because there's no salt added to it, so that you can use it for anything.
Yeah.
But okay, so this is.
And if you're having to do heart healthy, it tasted fine. It just was bland.
Yeah, it was just very bland.
And you could add other things to spice it up.
Yeah. So there we go. Disher.
A disher.
Disher.
This is what did we decide for Map Kelly? Because she asked what number this was.
Oh.
It was a 12, I think.
I
think we decided it was a 12.
Yeah, I think we figured it was a 12.
Or 24. Oh, it's 24. There's the number.
Yeah.
Map Kelly, it's a 24.
Yep, there it is.
Now, this is one of those cases, the smaller the number, the bigger the scoop, or is it the vice versa?
Yes, the smaller the number, the bigger the scoop. It's kind of like needles. The smaller the number, the bigger the needle.
Yeah.
So like a number 2 is significantly larger than a number 64.
Okay. So this is a, what did we say? What did we say this was?
This is a 12.
24?
24. So it's 20. So it's 24.
Is there a 48? Like, could we do a half that size? Or?
Yeah, they make them smaller.
See, Kelly, I care about you. And I have a pretty good memory.
Okay. Soup is out of boil.
Yeah, that one's a 12. That is our smallest. Did I say 12? 24. That one's a 24, and it's our smallest. I would love it if we had one just maybe, well, maybe not half the size.
Like a 36.
That's right. Send the Spice Patrol. That'd be hilarious. A knock on the door. Hey, your food's too bland.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. We know a cop. There's a cop at church. I wonder if I could talk him into something like that. Show up on stream. Of course, I bet he couldn't do that part, but that'd be hilarious to show him like, your food's too bland. You're getting off with a warning this time.
I don't know. See, something like that sounds a little bit like the scene in Hot Fuzz where they're at the school presentation and the photographer's like, put one in a headlock.
Yeah, wait, pick up your hat and wave it around. Too cheesy pie. That was a video I wanted to send you that I thought was kind of wild. Let me reminder, and I'll put it in the Discord. Yes, please.
What was this?
I like my soup on the blender side. Too much spice, and I'm disappointed that it's not stew or chowder.
Ah, okay. There was a video I wanted to send you that I thought was kind of wild. Let me remember, and I'll put it in the Discord. Yeah, definitely. Drop it in the Discord.
You should.
Chaos.
That would be great. Maybe he could do a review of it. What? What are you looking at, little girl? Hi, Jay. Come on, you two.
They're like, where's our dinner?
That's why you could. The dogs eat at 9-ish and 6:30, and so they're like, it's
Pacific
food
Standard Time.
Pacific Standard Time, and so the dogs are like, why are we not eating? I will feed them.
Okay.
I'm grabbing the scale because we make our own food, and I gotta weigh it out.
I did talk about that a little bit earlier.
Oh, did you make dog food today?
No, I did not, but I did talk about making the dog food.
Yeah. We need to. This is gonna be it.
Alright, meatballs are almost ready.
I'll take care of it.
Thank you.
We're a team. Yeah, either rinse it now or scrub it later.
Screw.
I like the rinse now part.
Those should be done in just a couple of minutes.
The meatballs?
Yep.
Wow, that was fast. Of course, they're small, so that makes sense.
Exactly. Meatballs are relatively small, so they should be done pretty quickly. Let's see. Okay. I was just looking to see it because Andy's streaming, so we're going to end up rating him as soon as we're done. But as soon as the meatballs are done, I'm just going to bring the whole pot over here and set it down, and then we'll dish up into the bowls.
That'll be delicious. Tired.
Yeah. But that's okay.
Were you able to go back to sleep?
A little bit. Not for very long. But I did end up going back to sleep a little bit.
Was that
Wasn't, like I said, it wasn't very long. It was maybe 30 minutes. That's life.
That's life.
No worries. Oh, I figured out. You know how there was that bit under the front end of my car that was hanging down?
Oh, yeah.
I figured out what that was yesterday when I was doing the oil change.
And?
There's a piece of under trim.
There's a little bit left.
Oh, there we go. That had swung down, and the reason why is because a clip broke, and so that's why it popped down. I went to put a zip tie on it as a temporary fix, but where it's at, it goes right into the frame, and it doesn't go through. So I went and got a clip today that should work for it.
Oh, is that the part? The hardware store receipt I got?
Did you get an email?
Yeah. Or a
That's
text
weird.
message. I got something saying your purchase from the hardware store.
For 64 cents.
That's awesome. I didn't look at the price. I was
Yeah,
just
it was
like,
64
oh,
cents.
my baby went to the hardware store today.
Yes, the dogs are well behaved. Oh!
Yeah, we try to keep them well behaved. They're not perfect, but
Yeah.
when it comes to food time, it's a very quiet, peaceful process. Because dogs can get really weird when it comes to food. Most people, a lot of trainers will say you shouldn't even feed them near each other. We feed them in the same room, but they're facing different directions.
Yeah.
And they're both very respectful with, oh, I'll wait till you're done before I can lick your bowl. But we try really hard. Those look delicious.
What?
Well, I was just like, please don't overfill my bowl. That's good. Yeah. The dogs aren't perfect though. And that's okay. We still love them.
Tacos break and we still love them.
That's true. The soup is gonna be awesome. I don't know, why did you want to do this soup?
Oh.
Yeah, was it? I don't know how to pronounce it. Cregan?
Cregan?
Cregan. That's it. I can hardly see it from here. But
Yeah.
if you're around, if you have any requests. Like, DK here loves requests.
It's true.
Are you still planning on doing what we talked about on Saturday?
Yes.
For Avocado Cream KitchenAid's birthday, he's gonna do Southern fried chicken and mashed potatoes on Saturday. Today is her birthday. It's Mama Wayso. Today's her birthday. But
There we go.
of course, Saturday's supposed to be like one of the hottest days.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We got fans. We can do it.
Soup is done.
Looks great. Smells good.
There's the beauty shot.
Money shot.
Money shot.
From one of our favorite shows, Parks and Rec, that we're quoting.
It's true. There's a there should be a channel point redeemed for it. There are a couple.
Oh, that's really good. Chicken balls.
Thank you.
Chicken, what will we call these?
Sukune, I think is the technical name.
Those are fantastic.
Chantonabe balls.
These are seriously amazing. What's in them? Is that with
Chicken.
green onion?
Yeah, green onion.
I'd love to take this and put it in wonton and like actually do wonton with this.
Chicken breast, soy sauce, scallion. Well, actually, there's my cheater sheet.
What the heck?
Money shot!
Ginger juice, soy sauce, cornstarch, panko, scallions, and an egg.
It's fantastic. And we learned if you have a gluten allergy, just crush up Rice Krispies
Yep.
and put that in.
Sending a screenshot to mom. Oh, okay. How far ahead do you have to stream schedule to?
We don't.
Yeah, really good chicken balls. I don't have it like mapped out like, oh, in approximately 3 weeks I will be making this. No, it's usually day before or day of.
Unless something like this happens, then it's like, oh, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
But if you recommend something, we'll do it. Well, maybe.
Like we'll plan on it.
Yeah, we'll plan on it in the near future. But we'll try to tell you so you know, like, oh, it's coming.
Yeah, check out that.
These
It's really
chickens-
nice, even cooked. It's got a fantastic flavor to it.
It is. I am shocked at how good these are. I mean, I know you're amazing, but chicken balls boiled in soup, like, that doesn't sound appealing. To be honest, those by themselves would make this soup incredible.
Now,
We don't need all the veg too. All the veg is good for you. You outdid yourself.
thank you.
I'm not just saying that. Like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, that's some tasty stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh, piece of pork.
It is pretty darn close to perfect. I don't know how we can make this better. Add a carb to the meal, some sort of bread. Because there's really no carbs in this.
Oh, wait. We have nudes.
Oh, we got noodles! I forgot! I gotta try the egg noodles.
We got our egg nudes.
Let me find one. Because that I have not tried. Did you put some in mine?
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden they dissolved.
They're in there, I guarantee it.
Oh, I see
There
one.
you go. I'll be curious what your thoughts are on them.
Okay, tell you the truth.
I know.
Not bad. I'd say they're like thick. They're I don't want to say doughy. They've got a good flavor.
No, but I think you're right. They still have that kind of.
Egg noodles are usually really light and even physically thinner. It seems, and these are thicker. They taste more like regular noodles.
Yeah.
They're good. Don't get me wrong.
They're okay. I can't say they're fantastic. A recipe in the Discord. I can put a recipe in the Discord for the chicken balls. This was literally just kind of like, we're throwing it together. There was no basic recipe. But I will throw the recipe for the chicken balls up in the Discord.
Did you make that recipe?
No, this is from the Chanko Nabe recipe. So, half pound of chicken. I used chicken titty because it's what I had. A couple of teaspoons of... I have ginger juice, but I just use grated ginger, and I probably use closer to 3. A couple of teaspoons of soy sauce, about a tablespoon of cornstarch, 6 tablespoons of panko breadcrumbs, little more than 3 tablespoons of scallions, and an egg. A lot of that can kind of be messed with a little bit. Like, you can kind of tweak the amounts. And you just kind of get it to a good consistency, and then you just boil them up, and especially like in the soup, so then that way the soup gets in there and you're golden. So
it's golden.
It's golden. But
the pork is nice, but these meatballs are so good. I don't know if it's necessary.
Yeah, I would say, like, in the future, like if I do this again, it'll probably be more chicken meatballs.
Yeah.
Like just straight chicken meatballs.
Ooh, have a star. Is it a star? It is a star.
Anyways. Alright, I think we're going to call it there just because I've been standing for a little over 3 hours now. And I'm ready to go sit down.
Thank you, Accidental Chaos.
Yeah, thank you, Accidental Chaos.
I worked hard on this. Just kidding.
But,
I did punching out of noodles.
Nudes. She punched out nudes.
I'm not going to say I did nudes, because...
No.
Lumpy's already been on me about the 2 power.
About gas and everything, yeah. But, so we're going to go raid Mr. Andrew Kingsley. He is the gentleman that wrote my jingle. This is the raid message that we'll go ahead and use. Yeah, no, the soup is really good. I'm looking forward to sitting down and just enjoying it as we finish the
oh my God,
Korean romantic comedy that we've been watching called Business Proposal. It's on Netflix.
So amazing.
It's so good. But
oh my gosh, it's incredible. If you've never watched Korean television, highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's super good.
Some of the best TV on the market.
Yeah, if you got it's on Netflix. It's a brand new series that was shot literally earlier this year. It's called Business Proposal. It's really good.
It's about a chaebol, which is a rich guy falling for a non-rich girl. Typical story arc.
Yeah, but pretty common.
And your really heart good. Just melts all the way. Anyways.
Yeah, another one we really recommend is Crash Landing Over You, Boys Over Flowers, the original, what was the doctor one? The one that got made into Good Doctor.
Good Doctor.
The original Korean one is also another really good one.
But to be honest, they've all been really good.
They have.
I mean, some are better than others, but
and it also depends on kind of what you're into, because they do a whole bunch of different genres and everything like that. But we tend to watch a lot, either like some supernatural kind of ones or
I'm
romantic
the supernatural,
comedy.
and he's the romantic comedy. I know that's kind of surprising, but he's the romantic.
I don't know. There was that one horror one that we watched that I really liked.
I loved it too.
Yeah. What was it, Black? I think is what it was. I don't remember.
No, Home Again.
Was it Home Again?
Was one.
What was the one with the girl that could see the dead people? And so she wore the sunglasses all the time.
Oh, My Ghost?
No, that was the one where the ghost inhabited the body of the girl.
Oh. I can't keep the Korean dramas.
Yeah, there's so many. Anyways. So yeah, that's the raid message. We're gonna go raid Mr. Andy King, who wrote my jingle. He is currently writing music, it would appear. and because that's what he does, and he's amazing at it. And it looks like some of the regs are over there, so we'll go raid him. There's the raid message, and
It's nice meeting you guys. Here.
Cregan. Yeah, Cregan, thanks so much for, sticking around, and thanks to Jay to the MFD for, following, and Cashlocks, Mr. Donnie Burbage, Vathor Realm,
Wow.
and wow, it's Peter. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the resubs. Thank you to everybody who is here and active, and thank you to the lurkers for, coming and hanging out. I understand that maybe sometimes you just want to sit back and chill, and we completely understand and endorse that behavior, so we appreciate you guys being here. Hope everybody has a good rest of the day, night, into tomorrow. We'll be back Saturday for Southern Fried Chicken, which I'm going to be posting photos tomorrow because I'm going to have to get the chicken brining. The brine for the chicken is going to be buttermilk, pickle juice, and hot sauce. And there's going to be some paprika mixed in. But it needs at least a 24-hour brine on it before we fry. So I will take pictures and post it, as well as the recipe and everything. So it should be really good.
On the Soldier of Giants, we haven't seen you in a while, so thanks for coming back.
Yeah, no, I mean, we understand.
Not that you left, but...
Not that yes, but
You've
he's
got
busy.
a life, you're busy.
He's busy. It's all good. So we appreciate it. So I'm going to set up the raid, and whoop.
And we'll
Wrong keyboard.
We'll go say hi to Andy.
There he is. Okay. So I'm going to put it on my goodbye screen, so then that way you can enjoy his work before we go raid him. So take care, everybody, and we will see you all Saturday.
Hello, boys and ghouls. DK's making a snack today.